Well, new comic book day is coming up, which means it's time for me to take a look at the books coming out so I can tell you what I'm getting. What's up, guys? BJ Kicks here. I buy comics, I read them, and I review them, all for your viewing pleasure. If you're new here, welcome. If not, welcome back. This channel is all about comic books, and this is the latest video in a series I like to call What I'm Getting, where I break down the books coming out this Wednesday, November 30th, and I tell you what's on my pull list, what's on the chopping block, and what's on the maybe list I'll be making a game day decision on. Gotta admit, it is a very light week, but no worries. Still going to be a fun episode. Now, I always like to start these lists off with the book that I am most excited for. And this week, that is from DC Comics, the Nightwing 2022 Annual. If I'm not mistaken, this one's written by Tom Taylor. I guess I could check. I was right. So this Nightwing 2022 Annual is written by Tom Taylor, and I'm excited for this book for two reasons. There's going to be two stories. The first, we're finally getting the origin of Heartless. Now, if you've been following Tom Taylor's Nightwing ever since issue 78 last year, Tom Taylor has introduced this villain called Heartless, and he has slowly made his way to the top of Nightwing's Rogues Gallery. And I won't spoil how that happened, but I will say he's risen up the ranks of the Rogues Gallery without us ever really learning much about him. So in this annual, we're going to get an origin story. We're going to learn more about Heartless's background. Who is he? What are his motivations? Why is he so heartless? Anyway, so I'm excited about that. But there's also another sort of origin story that I'm excited about, and that is the story of Haley, aka Bitewing. Nightwing and Barbara Gordon's pet dog is getting a Bitewing Year 1 backup story, which it's just going to be fun. You know, Tom Taylor stories are always full of heart. This Nightwing series has been full of heart, full of comedy, and full of action. And this annual should be a lot of fun. I mean, it's a dog. Like, it's a story about a dog. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. The 2022 Nightwing Annual has a cover price of $5.99, and I'm going to grab the cover A. And since we're talking about DC Comics, let's go ahead and move on to the rest of the comics on my DC pull list, starting with Detective Comics Annual 2022. Now, this Detective Comics is written by Ram V with art by Raphael Albuquerque. I can't lie, I've been kind of in and out of the Detective Comics run because Chip Zdarsky's mainline Batman is just that good. Detective Comics has just kind of been an afterthought to me, but I know Ram V is a very highly respected writer, and a lot of people are really excited about him. I will say, I've read the first two issues of this run. It's definitely like a more supernatural kind of, a sort of like suspenseful / horror type vibes, and it's kind of heady. It's kind of heady. I feel the same way reading this Detective Comics as I did trying to read the Justice League Dark backup stories during Bendis' Justice League. But that's not to say that it's not good. It's just multi-layered and it takes more time to read. But anyway, this is going to be a nice done-in-one story featuring Batman and a werewolf in a time-traveling tale. So that's interesting. I don't know how it's going to connect to the main run or if it's going to connect to the main run, but it should be a nice adventure, especially if you're into that sort of atmospheric, emotional suspense. Like, if that's your vibe, if Ram V is your vibe, you're going to want to grab this annual. It's a nice done-in-one story featuring Batman of all characters. So, Detective Comics Annual 2022's got a cover price of $5.99. I'm grabbing cover A. Now, the last book on my DC Comics pull list this week is basically another special issue. This is the Superman Returns, the Superman Kal-El Returns special. So if you've been following Superman and Action Comics, then you know that we've been in the War World saga for like the last year and a half, basically ever since Future State ended last March-ish, March, April. Superman has been on War World. He fought Mongul, defeated Mongul, freed a bunch of refugees, and then brought War World into Earth's orbit and returned to Earth in like the last 2 to 3 issues of Action Comics. And it's honestly been really good. I like the ramification. I like the sort of blowback and the pushback that Superman is getting to bringing these refugees to Earth. And I like the new conflicts that it is opening up. And as we've seen, Lex Luthor is on a collision course, as he always is, to prove that Superman is not as great as he makes himself out to be. Now, in this 2020 or this special, we're going to get like, basically the DC Universe's reaction to Clark or Kal-El coming back to Earth because John Kent's been filling in his place. We've seen the reunion of John Kent and Superman. We've seen the reunion of Lois and Superman, but now we're going to get to see the reunion of Jimmy Olsen, the reunion of Superman and Batman, and we're going to get to see how Lex Luthor is reacting to Superman being back in Metropolis and on Earth, for that matter. So the Superman Kal-El Return special has got a cover price of $5.99. It's written by a whole lot of people, by the way. I'm going to grab the cover A. Although I am tempted by the Batman Spawn variant. They're doing Spawn features on like a bunch of DC comics in the next few weeks. And that Dan Mora Spawn cover is just, it's a good cover. But I'm going to try to stick to cover A because it's already a $6 book and the Spawn variant's $1 more. But that's it for my DC Comics, and that's going to bring my DC Comics total to $18 if I stick to the list and don't buy the cool variant that I know I'm going to really want. But I might actually have some room on the pull list because there are no other books on my pull list. That's right. There are no Marvel books on my pull list this week. There are no indie books on my pull list this week. It just so happens none of the books that I'm subscribed to have an issue coming out this week from those major publishers or any other publishers besides DC. But that doesn't mean there aren't like some interesting comics coming out. I've decided that I'm going to try not to buy anything that's not on the list because next week is going to be pretty much a full budget week and Christmas is coming up. You never know what you're going to want to spend those extra coins on. But I just want to shout out a couple of books that I think are interesting coming out this week. I think the one I'm most interested in that I'm not subscribed to is Good Boy, Prodigal Son, #1. So if you've been following the Good Boy series or set of miniseries, I think they've got I think this is the 3rd Good Boy series. It's basically like John Wick if the roles were reversed. So you killed this dude's human and now he is coming after you. I haven't read the original Good Boy and I've also not seen John Wick, but something about a murderous dog, like hitman, assassin dog, just seems interesting to me. So that's worth shouting out. Also worth shouting out, Philadelphia reaches its 25th issue this week. That's pretty dope. So if you're still following Philadelphia, you'll want to grab that. King Spawn's on issue 17 this week from Image Comics. Let's see what else is coming out. Planet Hulk Worldbreaker #1. This is a one-shot, I believe a one-shot, written by Greg Pak, who wrote the original Planet Hulk event. So if you want to return to the world of Planet Hulk, then Planet Hulk Worldbreaker might be your bag. Let's see. If there's anything else that I think is just super interesting. I think that's it. Nope. One more. From DC Comics, The Nubia and the Justice League Special #1. Written by quite a few people, Becky Cloonan, Michael Conrad, Stephanie Williams, with art by also quite a few people. Aletha Martinez, Amin K. Nahuelpan. I butchered that name. Tamara Bonvillain on colors. So interesting stuff. Now, if you've been following Nubia's, she's had quite a few miniseries, all written by Stephanie Williams. This is a celebration of her 50th anniversary, and she's going to be saving the day alongside the Justice League. So that's going to be a dope issue. It's got a cover price of $5.99. There's also a 30th anniversary Wildstorm special. So if you're an OG Image Comics fan, Wildstorm fan, Wildcats fan of Grifter, this might be one to grab. It's got stories by a bunch of people. and art by a bunch of people, including Jim Lee. I was scrolling to see if Jim Lee was going to do any of the art. It looks like he did the cover, and he's got at least one interior story. It's a 100-page giant, so a lot of stuff going on in that one. Cover price $7.99. Too rich for my blood. I wasn't an OG Wildstorm fan. I'll wait till it hits digital outlets next month. But that was my pull list. You guys let me know in the comments down below what you're excited for. Are you taking it easy this week? Is it a light week for you as well? And if not, how you coping? Because there's a lot of annuals out there, a lot of high-priced books coming out this week. Now, speaking of high-priced books, you guys know this channel and my pull list would not be possible without the support of our channel family. So if you would like to be a member of the channel family, there's a join button down in the description below, but I just wanted to shout out these lovely fellows whose information is scrolling across the screen right now. Thank you for making this content possible. I hope you've been enjoying the extras and the behind the scenes videos that I've been posting just for members only. And like I said, if you want to get that behind the scenes sort of sneak peek, the look behind the curtain and seeing how the sausage is made, so to speak, then maybe you should hit that join button as well. You can join for as little as $2 a month, which I think is inexpensive. It's like a little tip jar, and it helps the channel a lot. I'm super grateful. But anyway, that's going to do it for me. A light week, like I said. I'm spending $18. That might be a record. That's certainly the least I've spent this year in a single comic book week. Let's see if we can break it before December 25th. I don't know. But I'll see you guys in another video soon. I hope you saw something you liked in this one. And if not, hey, that's cool. But you can always buy what you like. Just make sure you read what you buy. And be nice to others, because kindness makes the world go round. Peace.